Humans are pretty great. From cities to elaborate governments to reality TV shows, we pretty much run the show these days when it comes to advanced primates. But things weren't always just about Homo sapiens. In fact, Homo sapiens, or early modern humans, weren't the only hominins that used to roam the Earth. We now know that a number of extinct human-related species led lives of their own, from the tropical islands of Indonesia to the remote reaches of Siberia. But who exactly are our extinct relatives? Today, we're going to meet the family. First, let's meet the Neanderthals. Characterized by their larger skulls and short, stocky stature, Neanderthals walked the Earth from 230,000 to 40,000 years ago. From fossil evidence, scientists think that Neanderthals made moderately advanced stone tools and displayed cultural behaviors such as feather wearing and intentional burials. Next, let's meet our smallest contemporaneous relative, Homo floresiensis. Hailing from the tiny island of Flores in Indonesia, Homo floresiensis stood at only about 3.5 feet tall. They lived until at least 60,000 years ago, after which much fossil record of their existence disappears. Much of what we know about these little guys comes from one nearly complete fossil skeleton and a number of other skeletal fragments found in the Liang Bua cave on the island of Flores. So was our hominin hobbit like Bilbo Baggins? Or like sneezy, happy, sleepy, doc, grumpy, or bashful? Not quite. Because casts of the brains of Homo floresiensis look like earlier human ancestors in terms of shape and size, many scientists believe that Homo floresiensis was probably capable of cultural and social behavior within groups. Looking to fossil evidence of Homo floresiensis' behavior, we believe that they made basic stone tools based on a variety of artifacts found alongside fossils of this species. The presence of basic fire-making materials have also led some scientists to believe that Homo floresiensis was able to harness the power of fire to cook and warm. Last comes our most recently discovered relative, the Denisovans. While they actually lived around the same time as Neanderthals, we first learned about Denisovans from a tiny bone fragment just about the size of a coffee bean found in a cave in Siberia in 2010. From there, scientists analyzed the teeth found from Denisovans in the same cave to paint a more vivid picture of these relatives of ours. What we know about Denisovans mostly comes from the DNA we have been able to extract from those tiny fossils. In fact, our idea of Denisovans isn't too different from what we believe Neanderthals looked like. Because of their genetic similarities to Neanderthals and early modern humans, scientists believe that Denisovans likely were about as smart as Neanderthals and could make stone tools using advanced techniques like those our ancestors did. We can also tell by the Denisovan DNA that we have found that Denisovans and Neanderthals are more closely related than they are to us, meaning that it is more likely that Denisovans were more Neanderthal-like in appearance and behavior. So where and when exactly did all of these species live? Let's take a snapshot of the world at 100,000 years ago. We know based on existing fossil evidence that Homo floresiensis was a bit of a homebody and stuck around their island in Indonesia. Meanwhile, Denisovans ranged in the mountains of Siberia and may have extended their reach southwards to areas with more tropical climates in Australasia. Neanderthals' range spread from Iberia to Eurasia. Additionally, early modern humans were initially confined to Africa. However, about 60,000 years ago, modern human ranges began to overlap with those of Neanderthals and Denisovans. But why do these living regions actually matter? Well, some of our ancient relatives met each other and maybe ended up becoming friends with some evolutionary benefits. According to a genome analysis of a bone fragment found in a Siberian cave, we now know that Neanderthals and Denisovans interbred and produced offspring together. That bone fragment belonged to Deni, a female half Denisovan, half Neanderthal who lived about 90,000 years ago. And Neanderthals and Denisovans weren't the only ones having fun. Early modern humans were interbreeding with them too, when their ranges began to overlap about 60,000 years ago. Sadly, Homo floresiensis was likely stuck on their island vacation and couldn't partake in any of the fun, as far as we know. And this is where it all comes back to you. The evidence for interbreeding between Neanderthals, Denisovans, and early modern humans is all in the DNA. According to DNA sequencing from Denisovan fossils, people from Southeast Asia and Oceania may have DNA that is up to 6% Denisovan. We don't entirely know what archaic DNA in living humans does, but in at least one group, the Tibetans, we do. Scientists have linked Denisovan DNA sequences to a gene that helps modern Tibetans live at altitudes above 13,000 feet. Bummed that you probably don't have any Denisovan DNA? Approximately 2% of human DNA sequence in most non-African humans are believed to come from Neanderthal DNA. So, from Homo floresiensis to Neanderthals to the Denisovans, the hominin family runs pretty deep. Maybe so deep that it's in your DNA.